Hi, this is Bonnie, and welcome to Bonnie's Mystical Remix. And today I'm continuing my A Week With series with the Housewives Tarot and the Stargate Symbolic System, which is quite unusual, and I'll get into that in a minute. I felt like this past week I was looking at the astrological deacons, and this week, for some reason, the Housewives called to me. Also, I feel like with all of the heaviness of what's been going on, kind of nice to lighten things up a little bit. And honestly, like I saw this deck. I bought this deck a while ago, but never really worked with it all that much because I was wondering when and how and all that. It's just amazing. I love vintage everything. I have a massive, and I'm not lying, I have a really extensive vintage magazine collection. So I collect old magazines from, the entire duration of the 20th century practically. So I have all sorts of old magazines. So I love that thing. And what really attracted me to this, it's just so kitschy. The box, the wording, the copywriting is so snappy. The book is also written very snappy. They made up this whole, the creators kind of made up this whole cool little legend of the mystical Housewives Tarot, which is pretty fun. According to gossip, the Housewives Tarot was introduced by housewife extraordinaire Marlene Louise Weatherby in the early 50s. She was a happy homemaker who seemed to have it all: a devoted husband and obedient children, a sparkling home that was the talk of the town, a fashion sense to die for, and far more than her fair share of women's intuition. And it just goes on, and it's so snappy, and the imagery is also really snappy. And it's designed in a little recipe box with actual real recipes on the back. So which is really kind of cool. This was designed by Paul Keppel and Jude Buffum. Paul Keppel also is the designer of the Zombie Tarot, to those who have that. So there is definitely that same kind of kitschy novelty kind of feel to it. But yeah, there are actual recipes here. Icebox fortune cake. There is divinated eggs. So it's fun. And I think with all of the stuff that's been going on, we need a little fun, right? So these cards are really just adorable, and you'll see that they're all they're just kitschy. They have that, 1950s gosh oh golly kind of feel. Oh god, the devil being devil's food cake and spam and cigarette, like all the vices. It's kind of funny. So it's just really a fun deck. And the Hermit. I love how the Empress is a recipe for success. Nine of Cups. I just kind of love this deck. What I don't love is the cards, is how it shuffles. Like, I just have to kind of, it's kind of like, I just don't really love the way the cards are on this, but it doesn't bother me. I just love this deck so much that doesn't really bother me, but it's not like a real, like, plain card or anything. It's just kind of, it feels weird to me. So that's the Housewives Tarot, and I'll go into like how it read for me after what my perception was, and how it worked in conjunction with the Stargate Symbolic System. It's kind of funny because I worked with it this past week, and the guidebook, which is actually really insightful, just arrived today. So I didn't get to use it in the way that it's intended. I used it more as an oracle, but this is from 1979. And I kind of like the back. It's like, enter the Stargate experience, the new and vital dimension and self-awareness. Adventure into your own being. Discover practical ways to give new meaning to your everyday life. This is based in the tarot and I Ching, so it's definitely like a very different kind of system. And what you get with it is just like this manual with some descriptions and how to use it, and you get this um, plastic mat that you put the cards on. So I really want to dive deep into this, but this week I just really wanted to use a vintage deck with a retro feel deck and see how that worked. And also I just thought that the images that came with it, like they're very, it's almost like in some ways Lenormand-ish. So I just like the symbols, quite simple. And on the fronts are the images, and on the backs are descriptions. I really have to dive in. Just drop the mat. Oh well. But I really just like the way it's very clear, and I really want to dive into this because it's quite interesting. But I really can't give a full review. I can only give you like what, how it worked with the Housewives, and I thought that this was kind of funny. So the way I read this, because I used this as an oracle last week, it's like, hey, you better like watch what you say because justice can deal you a swift hand. I thought that was kind of brilliant. Queen of Swords with Fountain. Sometimes you just need to let out what you feel. You need to just let it out. It might come out cold, but you need to be honest in a situation. So that's kind of, it really worked very well together over the course of the week, and I found that to be interesting. So my weekend review with this deck, especially like after putting the Housewives, the cards that I got from the Housewives for the week, it became very clear to me that this particular deck was more about personal situations. It was very attuned to work situations. It was very attuned to career, work, and home, not as much geared towards like what's going on in the world. So it kind of was more about the personal and the home versus the everything that's going on. So I kind of felt like it helped me reset with that. And that was my impression of what the Housewives was going to be like. I had a feeling it was going to be about it was going to really tap into my creative pursuits along with my occupation, my day job. So it really kind of gave me that. So I really thought that was good. So that's kind of, it was very direct and cheeky, and together it was just it really gave like good kind of cohesion. So I thought that was a really good kind of message. Stargate was also pretty cool too. When I put just those cards and isolated those and looked at those for the week. Just again, very much practical, very much about what was going on personally in my professional realm. So I thought that was kind of cool. This week I'm on to a couple other decks. I'm gonna do my monthly recap as well as like what I received, what new decks entered my collection, what I'm waiting for. Other stuff that's going on. So I'll be doing my month in review in a couple of days because there's still one day to go. It's only the 30th of April, and March has been quite a doozy. And it isn't going out like a lamb. It came in like whoa. So this month has been quite a doozy, and I just kind of want to do my monthly recap probably towards the end of the week. So you'll see that. Anyway, I am rambling, so hope you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks, bye.